Okay, why I don't follow a vegan diet. Now, first of all, I'm in Chiang Mai right now, and this is where I became vegan. This was 2015. I remember it super clear. It was like a life-changing moment, no doubt about it for me. But before then, I'd been coming to Chiang Mai, and I'd met with what I call militant vegans, who are literally either you're 100% vegan or I can't talk to you. You meet a lot of people like that here, and for me, they are cancer. They are absolutely, on an individual level, they're doing the right thing for themselves, for the environment, and sustainability, 100%. And 100%, the very, very best diet you can follow for your physical self and for sustainability and for the environment is a vegan diet, 100%. It's unquestionable. But how the hell are you going to inspire meat-eating people or non-vegan people or non-vegetarian people to follow the same diet as you if you're not even willing to talk to them? How crazy is that, that you would even have that thought process? Just doesn't work. My conversation with these people, with the more reasonable people in these groups, would be how are you ever going to get to the point where more people in the world are going to eat less meat if you're not willing to talk to them? The way I turned vegan in 2015 was I was fed up with these vegan people, the way that they dressed, and it was like, go vegan everywhere, and it was like it is like a cult, and it was like a cult back then. I was cycling along Mayrim, maybe 25 kilometers north of here, with a friend of mine who still remains a good friend today. 21 years old he was at the time, so just a kid. And I said to him, Vigard, why are you vegan? And he said, because animals have just as much right to live as we do. And being somebody that had grown up with like lots of dogs in the house, animals all over the place, different animals all over the house, that hit me very, very strong. It's very, very simple sentence. Norwegian guy, very short on words and very kind of calculated with words. It hit me very strong. And from that, literally from that ride, I had already cut out red meat. I always cut out red meat when I come to Thailand. I started to cut out chicken and turkey. I started to cut out eggs, and then eventually I cut out milk and milk protein, dairy products. And then at that point, I noticed that not only am I feeling better, my energy is more consistent, but I also am recovering faster. So where I was able to do like one hard session every 4 days, I'm now able to do one hard session every 3 days. And I do it for a safety reason. I do one hard session every 3.5 days, Wednesdays and Sundays. But that has been ever since. But I will not, if I go for pizza every couple of weeks, I'm gonna have cheese on it. That's just the way, last night I went for pizza, and I had a vegan pizza. Everything was vegan, and it tasted delicious. So that will be my route forward from now on. I won't have margarita, but from time to time I will have a margarita pizza if there's not a vegan pizza on the menu. But the point is that how would that conversation between me and Vigard ever have happened if he wasn't open and mature enough and had a good enough outlook on the world and about veganism, if he wouldn't speak to me? It would never have happened. And so I wouldn't have been able to say, so if you get the opportunity to be around people, if you're vegan, vegetarian, you get the opportunity to be around people and they say to you, tell me about your vegan diet, or why did you become vegan? You've got them. It's a buy-in signal. So if you can tell them, which I became vegan in 2015, I was crazy about sports. My training volume was super high on the bike and running, doing lots in the weight room. I felt that protein was the key to muscle mass. And then I tried a vegan diet because I had a ride with Vigard, and he told me about, so initially I switched for ethical reasons, and then I realized my performance benefit, like my performance enhancement had gone through the roof in terms of physically I was able to perform better, I was able to recover faster, and so I initially did it for ethical reasons, but then it became physical performance reasons. That speaks to people, and if they're already willing to ask you that question, they're already interested. So if you can get somebody at that point, they're much more likely to change to a vegan diet or even a vegetarian diet. And then if you're in a vegetarian diet, naturally you'll think, okay, what about if I cut out dairy? What about if I cut out eggs? And they'll start to, if they've come from a meat diet and they start to kind of come towards a vegetarian and vegan diet, they're going to be open to more information on the topic, more scientific studies, more documentaries, and they're going to follow more people on Instagram and YouTube, etc., who follow a vegan diet, and it works. So they're going to learn how to eat a healthy vegan diet or a vegetarian diet and how to make it best work for them. So, you know, the typical mistakes people make is not getting enough amino acids through their proteins, and there's simple solutions for that. But you learn that by kind of getting into it and thinking, okay, how can I get the best possible diet for me? You're not going to learn that if people are not going to speak to you, because you'll never be able to have the conversation, you'll never be able to ask the question. So for me, it's crazy to have, I completely understand that if somebody if somebody has had a vegan diet for a long time and they've seen the slaughterhouses, they've seen graphic footage, and they've seen how animals are treated, which I have as well, I could completely understand how somebody's like, oh, get away from me. Like, you know what goes on, or you should know what goes on, and yet you choose to eat meat, and therefore I don't want to speak to it. I can understand that, but it's not getting us anywhere as a people. It's not getting us anywhere. And so, yeah, I will have ghee in my coffee. You know, kill me if that's the problem. I will have cheese on a margarita pizza if there's no vegan option. But 99% of my diet, let's say 95% of my diet for surety is vegan, and it makes me feel great. So I'm sorry I can't be in your group, but it doesn't seem that fun to be in anyway. So that's it. If you follow a vegan diet, or you're thinking of following a vegan diet and you're worried about maybe your performance because you currently eat a lot of meat and you feel that that's also conducive of building a lot of muscle mass, put your thoughts and feelings in the comments. It's a hot topic. It's it's sometimes a controversial topic, but I think it's becoming more and more mainstream all the time. I'm seeing stuff on Netflix. Maybe that's my algorithm working in my favor, but I think it's a great topic, and it's a topic that we should speak about.